Hi guys, it's Joella here. It looks like the year is nearing its end, so to celebrate, I'm going to draw Anna and Elsa from Frozen. Hi guys! Before we get started, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks! Okay, so let's just get right to it. I wanted to draw the characters from Frozen just because when Frozen first came out for the very first time and I was younger, I was obsessed with it. I had memorized all the songs. I even dressed up as Anna for Halloween that year. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be a nice way to celebrate. I know 2020 has been a little bit of a hectic year, but I think we just need to look on the bright side and see what 2021 will have in store for us. So in this picture, I decided to draw Anna and Elsa since they're the sisters and they're the main characters of Frozen, and they're hugging one another and they're just looking at each other and smiling. And when I was kind of trying to figure out their body movements, how their limbs and stuff would just be positioned on the page, I tried to make Anna more open, like she's hanging on to Elsa from the shoulder, she's just really happy, she's also holding on to Elsa's arm, and Elsa, she's like happy that Anna's so loving, but she's kind of a little bit more closed off. You'll notice her shoulders are a little more scrunched in, and I made her like that just to kind of bring her character more into the page, since Elsa is probably the more introverted and shyer one. Also, Anna's mouth is wide open. She's like, yay! And Elsa's just, taking in the love silently. And it was really fun to draw them. I did have to look at a few different references to figure out how I was going to go about their outfits. Some of the images had Anna with her cape, some of them had them without her cape. I decided to draw Anna's cape just because I like that aspect of her outfit design. And yeah, and then for the hair, Anna and Elsa both have braids. Like Elsa's got that side fishtail braid and Anna has two braids. So I used the pretty much same method. I kind of cheat when it comes to drawing braids, if I'm going to be completely honest. That is definitely something I have to get better at. I will not deny it. I make like these heart shapes and I draw a line going down the middle and I just call it a day. And you know what, it gets the job done, but I do want to learn how to draw braids better. Just put it on the New Year's resolutions, I guess. Also, you guys might be wondering, am I drawing Anna and Elsa from Frozen 1 or 2? Because there are two movies now. I think Frozen 2 came out either this year or last year. I'm not entirely sure. But I decided to draw how they look from the very first movie just because that is the one that, I don't know, it's more nostalgic for me, and that's the one that just started it all. So I thought it would be best to go with that. Now, I skipped the line art process in this video just because I want to focus more on sketching and my thinking process this time. And yeah, so now we're just moving on to the coloring. For Anna's hair, which is red, whenever I draw a redhead, I always use this color in my GOOOOOO set, which is terracotta. And I think it just is perfect for redheads. And then I shade with a brown. I could shade with a red, like a bright red, but I feel like it might not make it look as natural, so I opt for a brown, and I think it gives it a nice look. You'll notice I was taking extra care to really shade this time. I wanted to make it look more realistic. I've been seeing these YouTube videos where these people, the way they draw hair, it's like they shade certain strands, and I really like the way it looks. So I was kind of trying that out today. You might notice, if you look close at her hair, you'll see some parts are darker than others. And then for their skin tones, so Elsa is pale. She has pale skin and her hair is very fair colored. And Anna contrasts with her a lot because Anna's hair is red and her skin tone isn't necessarily dark, but it is tanner compared to Elsa's. So I did give her that nice peachy glow and those rosy cheeks because I love to draw rosy cheeks. And yeah. Okay, now moving on to the cape, and for the cape I went with this magenta color, and it's really pretty. It looks just like the cape that she wears, just like the same color that she wears in the movie. That's a good thing about having a lot of markers, like my GOOOOOOs and also my Winsor and Newtons. It's because you know, if I need a more saturated color, I'll go for a GOOOOOO's, but if I need a more toned down color, kind of pastel, I'll go with the Winsor & Newton's. And you can just match the colors perfectly. And yeah, also Anna's dress, she did have this design, these like swirl designs on like the torso part of her dress where it's black, but I decided not to include it just because I felt there's so much already going on in that area. Like, she's got her hand coming across there, and I don't know, I decided not to include it. I could have, but it would only have been like in the top and bottom section, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to go through that, so I'm just going to take the easy route and choose not to do it. But I don't think it's that big of a deal because I don't think it was that crucial of a thing that I had to include in the picture. I think I got like the main components down, like the most important parts of their outfits. And then her gown is a nice dark blue. It's interesting, they both wear blue dresses, but Anna's is the darker one and Elsa's is the lighter one. I actually really like the way this blue looks though. I think it's really pretty, like a nice midnight colored blue. And the sleeve color that I did for Anna, this light blue, that's the same color that I did for Elsa's dress. So that's one thing that's similar to them. Also, I tried to make their eyes similar. I gave them both blue eyes, though I think Anna's eyes might be a little bit more greenish, but I kind of wanted something to be cohesive about them, something that was similar between them. That way, you know, you can tell, oh, they're sisters, even though they are stark opposites. Okay, so now I'm doing Elsa's hair. I actually use this color that's called dim green, and it does not look green at all. It looks blonde, but that's the color I used for her hair, and I think that's the lightest shade of a yellow I could have gotten. So it's good, I like it. And now for the eyes, like I said, I went with the same kind of process for both their eyes. I just kept it a blue, like a dark blue, and then a light blue, and that's it. Now for Elsa's skin, this wasn't too tricky, just coloring it in. I did try not to shade too much because I wanted to keep it as light as possible, and I still feel like it did get a little too dark. I don't know, I just feel like Elsa's skin tone was a little bit even lighter than this. But it's okay, it's just the picture, so I think I like it. And of course, I gave her the rosy cheeks, and because she has a lighter skin tone, the rosy cheeks are more apparent on her, so I don't have to go over with the pink as much to make sure the color was really there. Okay, and now I think we're going to be moving on to the dress. So, or maybe not, maybe we're still shading the hands. Okay, now we're moving on to the dress. So for the torso part, I used a little bit of a darker blue, and then for the gown, I went with the lightest blue I had. And just to lighten up even the torso a little bit, I used a colorless blender that I have to really get it a light color. And Elsa's, like the top part of her dress and the sleeves are sheer, which means that it's see-through. So I colored it very lightly with peach, and then I went over with gray to kind of give it a look that you can see her skin through the sleeves, but there's still some sort of fabric that's there. I hope that worked. I'm still kind of working on how I draw characters with sheer parts to their clothing, so I don't know, but I think it's good. I like it. And there it is. That's the finished product. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Bye guys!